The NFL Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. WynnBET is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBET has what you need to win. Sign up today, B100 and get $100 at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's the sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET. State restrictions apply. And welcome, everyone, to the NFL Gambling Podcast, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. And we are live on a Friday, January the 20th, about just after 3 o'clock Eastern. So a little happy hour to get your weekend started right. I am your host, Moneyline Mac, Ryan McIntyre, and I am joined every week by the same man, my guy, J Mark Football, Mr. Old Fashioned Football. J Mark, I remember to hit go live this time around.
That was pretty funny. We're both refreshing the feeds. Like, where is it? Oh, wait, we're not live.
Yeah, no, we're waiting for the Twitter to pop up, and we got the little countdown for those watching on YouTube, and I'm like, what's going on? Why is this not going live? Why is it not on our Twitter? But yeah, no, you got to hit go live to go live. So yeah, simple behind the scenes type stuff before the show.
I also wonder, we give that little pause because we actually have somebody that does the editing and producing, and they put the music in. So we have that little pause. I always wonder if the those watching live are like, what are they doing? Are they going to start? Why are they just silent?
Yes, now you're being fully transparent on the full production of the NFL Gambling Podcast. Shout out to Matt Hogan, who is our producer behind the scenes, and been a huge help to all of us between me, J Mark, Moonoff, Scott, Dylan, Terrell. He's done every episode this year, so can't thank him enough. He's a diehard Carolina Panthers fan, so he got his hopes up. Yeah, he got his hopes up at the end, and then only to be broken by the Tom Brady.
That's right.
So, man, obviously we got a short slate. We're at that point of the year. I mean, we've been handicapping 8-9 games in the early window. Last week we did Super Wildcard Weekend. We had the Sunday slate, only 3. We got the Sunday slate this week by the request of Terrell Furman, who had to have the New York Football Giants in his card this week. So we were kind enough, team guys, program guys, and say, you know what, we'll take the Sunday slating. It just gives me a chance to throw some jabs at the Cowboys once more.
There you go. And we don't have to go into detail on those games, but just out of curiosity, who are you picking for the Chiefs, Jags, and the Eagles, Giants?
I'm going to go Chiefs in a close one. Okay. I think the Jacksonville, anytime you can win a game where you lose a turnover battle by five turnovers, I mean, that's impressive to me. They won't quit. I think they'll keep playing. Maybe a potential look ahead for Kansas City as well, knowing that they got Allen or Burrow versus Mahomes on deck at the neutral site or in Arrowhead, depending on who wins that. So I'll take the look ahead, kind of maybe a game kind of like the Cleveland divisional round 2 years ago, where they kind of just got by and got through. So that's what I'm thinking. How about you?
Yeah, I'm actually on I'm on Jags with the points, and then the Giants with the points as well, even though I think the Eagles are going to win. I don't know. I kind of want to take the Jags just because it would be fun.
Spice it up. Yeah. Oh yeah. I like that. I like the Jags keep it close, man. They're not going to lay down. They've come too far. They're playing as good a football as anybody, and we've seen Kansas City over and over kind of sleepwalk through these bigger numbers. So I expect it same scenario. Shark Queen in Cognito in the chat. What time do the Bears play? The same time as Washington plays.
That's right. The Sunday after Labor Day.
And we'll be here next year to preview all the action, but not before the NFL draft. That's what we're looking forward to now, because you have the number 1 pick, sir.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and I'm seeing all these trade scenarios. I'm just waiting to hear what the official trade is going to be, because I don't think they will pick at 1. I think a quarterback hungry team is going to give too much to get that spot. So I'm anxious to see what we get.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. You got to trade that pick, build up all those assets, give Fields some options. He's proven he can at least be the option for another couple years. I think, get him a couple weapons and let's see if he really is the true franchise quarterback.
Absolutely.
Yep. So, but before that, obviously the NFL draft will be here before we know it, and we'll be doing a bunch of off-season stuff. So stay tuned. This is a year-round pod, not just for the games, but we got the divisional round, and obviously, I'm with you. By the way, I kind of like the Giants shock the world Saturday night in Philly.
I'm not going to take them to win, but I'll take them with the points. Do you have a favorite in that game? Like, would you rather see one of those teams win?
No, I don't know. They both have won Super Bowls as of late in the last 15 years, so probably the Giants, I guess.
Yeah,
just because I think they're least likely to win the next game. But I keep hating on the Giants, and they keep winning, so it doesn't matter. My team's 8-1, and we're still trying to figure out the scenario to get in. Riverboat's cooking up something behind the scenes, so
we're eliminated now.
Yeah, I think we are officially eliminated. He sees the other three NFC East teams. He goes, "I told you we're not eliminated." It's like, no, the 49ers are playing, not you. So it is what it is. We'll see what happens at the quarterback position in Washington as well. But looking ahead to our 2 Sunday games, man, we got 2 good ones. Obviously, the first one is created more conversation than any NFL game this entire season just a couple weeks ago for not finishing the game in terms of how it went down with Hamlin and that whole situation. He is healthy, which is great news as well. And then in the nightcap, we got one of the NFL historic rivalries. I mean, anybody that's grown up watching football knows Cowboys 49ers is one of the iconic rivalries in this great league.
Absolutely. And some very passionate fan bases too. So you're going to see some heated games, I feel like, this weekend.
I agree. And I mean, this is 4 quality teams. And I mean, to get to this point, you got to be a quality team. So it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. But before we do dive into that first game in the AFC, I got to get us paid one more time. And if you're looking to get down on some action this weekend, do so over at WynnBET. WynnBET is the official online sportsbook of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. WynnBET is active in a bunch of states that are tons of ways to win, including live betting and same-game parlays. The NFL playoffs are here. Great promos, odds, and payouts are happening right now at WynnBET. Ready to play. Sign up today. Receive a special offer. Bet 100. Get 100. Limited to state availability. And, of course, if you hit the biggest long shot parlay of the week, you get a $1,000 free credit. There's so much to choose from. All you have to do is head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET so that they know that we sent you. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions at WynnBET.com. Must be 21 or older in the same state. Playthrough WynnBET is available. If you or someone has a gambling problem, please call 1-800-522-4700 or 1-800-PICK-DUNDEE.
There you go.
And speaking of Pick Dundee, the NFL will be over before we know it. But go over and check out the newest SGPN channel, the XFL Gambling Podcast, with our guy right here, J Mark Football, and Bottom Line Bombs and Pick Dundee. Even if you're not interested in the XFL, you're just going to get some good entertainment.
It is definitely a crazy time. That's for sure. We did our first show Wednesday, and yeah, it's a riot.
I'm telling you, I don't even know what you guys talked about, but I was laughing my ass off the entire show, just between Dundee and Bottom Line Bombs in that studio sitting next to each other.
Yeah, those guys are great. Oh my God. I had to keep muting myself because I was laughing so much.
Oh, no doubt. It's going to be a fun one. XFL, Vince McMahon, let's go. But before that, we are going to dive into the AFC, and most likely to play the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship will be one of these 2 teams, unless the Jaguars, of course, upset them. Cincinnati is going to Buffalo. Buffalo laying 5.5, over under 49. This game opened earlier in the week at Buffalo laying only 3.5, then bet up to 5.5. Over under opened at 48.5. What are you doing here, man? This is a interesting game. A lot of injuries from the Cincinnati side.
Yeah, a lot of injuries. I think that's why we see that line growing. I even saw it up to 6. I know that's only half point, but sometimes half point can matter.
It's a key number too.
Yeah, this is a tough one because I like both these teams. This is one of those games where really, no matter who wins, I'm going to be happy with the result. I like both teams. I just hope both teams have fun. No, I,
Go
I
out
think
and get him.
that's right. There's
Right.
going to be a lot of emotions in this game, obviously, because of how the last game between these two ended. And they both, here they are right back in the AFC playoffs, just like last year. Both of them didn't get exactly what they wanted last year and want to prove themselves. They're still young teams for the most part, but we kind of talked about it last week with these young teams, eventually that clock starts ticking, right? You gotta produce wins, or you're gonna lose players to the free agency because contracts are just too big these days. It seems like, but I like the Bengals here. I think they got a lot of grit. I'm going to take them to cover. I think the Bills win the game, but I think no matter what, no matter who wins this game, I think it comes down to a kind of a 3-point game either way. So I'm going to take Cincinnati in the points here, even with the injuries. I think they're coached well enough to overcome that.
The main thing I like in this game, honestly, we were not a total show in the regular season, but I really like the under in this one. I think is that a red solo cup? Yes, it is, Sharquin. Cheers to you, brother. It's a weekend. We got the divisional playoffs, baby. Crack open a cold one, set the tone for the weekend.
That's right.
I like the under, honestly. I think these two teams know each other. Obviously, they just played each other for half a quarter. And you see it a lot in these games that are very hyped up with two great quarterbacks, and the defenses kind of just take it personal leading up to the game. And I'm thinking first 1 to 24 is going to win this game. I think I know that Buffalo exploded last week, and honestly, they should have ran Miami out of the field, but they just self-inflicted wounds. For Buffalo this time, they cannot have those self-inflicted wounds that like those boneheaded Josh Allen plays where you're just scratching your head and be like, what the hell were you doing there? Because Cincinnati's too good. But I think Cincinnati was exposed last week as well. I thought Baltimore had a great game plan, and if they don't fumble the ball on the 1 yard line, they very well might have pulled the upset. So I'm going to lean Buffalo. I could see, I'm thinking like a 24-17 type of game. Both teams play a lot of cover two, don't get beat over the top. What is the weather? I forgot to check the weather, and obviously that makes an impact in Buffalo.
Well, while you're looking at that, I'm going to say, yeah, Josh Allen can't make the same mistakes he did against Miami because he's not playing against Skylar Thompson. He's playing against Smoking Joe, and he's got a lot of weapons there with Chase, Higgins, Boyd, Mixon. I mean, yeah, he's got to play a much cleaner game for sure.
Yeah, no. If he has those head scratching turnovers, it's going to be a long day for Buffalo. Sunday, I'm seeing a 60% chance of snow in the 30s. So basically, just another spring day in Buffalo.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I think Buffalo's been chomping at the bit to get this matchup back, get it back home. I know it's controversial how they got the home game because they finished with both 13 wins. And you could argue that Cincinnati was going to win that game that night. There was a lot of football left, and I think people saying that Cincinnati was definitely going to win the game. I'm like, wait, easy. Josh Allen can put up 30 points in a blink of an eye. So, I think Cincinnati probably would have won it, and this game would be back in Cincinnati. But because it's Buffalo, I think it pushes them over the edge. And I like Buffalo, and I think the emotional aspect of this with Hamlin, I assume he's going to be part of the pregame festivities where they're going to honor him. He's going to salute everybody, whatever they got planned. I don't know. I haven't seen the reports of that. Probably need to check in with Adam Pelletier. What's the deal there in Buffalo for Sunday at 3:00? But I think it just gets him over the top and they advance to the AFC Championship.
Yeah, I like it. I think Buffalo will win. I do like Cincinnati in the points. Shark Incognito says, how do you guys feel about the Cincinnati first half team total being at 10? I know you like the under. I actually like the over. These teams both kind of exploded in that first quarter just right off the gate. It didn't look like the defenses were going to be able to stop them. Now I know it was early on. Your first drives always tend to look good. But I think these are good enough offenses, despite being against good defenses. So I like that team over. I think over 10 is a pretty good number because I could see them having 14 at half.
Yeah, I think I probably would still lean to the under just because I'm on the game under, but I think you are right. If there is a time that an over is going to hit, I think it's going to be right at the beginning when both teams have a scripted drive based off of what they saw originally before the defenses tighten up the screws and make adjustments.
Yeah, for sure.
And I also think that it's not going to be a more conservative game plan called, but like I think Josh Allen is going to be a little more conservative than he has been in this game because the coaching staff always be like, Josh, if you make these mistakes against the Bengals, we're going to lose. Like we got away with it because we're playing Skylar Thompson or the week before that they played New England. So he knows that every time that he's played in one of these marquee games against Kansas City, he's risen to the occasion, and I expect the same on Sunday.
Yeah, for sure. What do you like for props here? You got any props?
So I'm going back to Cole Beasley, man.
Okay.
He's big game Beasley. Anytime touchdown score, we are going to go with plus 475 is what I'm seeing right now. And what's the over under on Josh Allen rushing yards? I'll take his over because I think he runs the ball more in this game. Josh Allen's over under 48 yards on the ground. I'll take the over on that.
Nice. I got Joe Burrow longest completion over 36.5. That's at minus 110. I like that one. And then James Cook rushing and receiving yards over 51.5. If they fall behind at any point, he's the guy that's in the backfield catching some passes as Josh Allen dumps him off. So I like that one too a lot.
I like that. I like that angle as well. You got any touchdown props you like?
I got a first touchdown. I'm going to go with T. Higgins plus 1,500. I just like the plus 1,500 number, and he gets involved often, especially when the defense is focused on Jamar Chase. So I think Bengals get the ball first here and score first to kind of set the tone.
I'm going to go back to Cole Beasley, 24-1. I also like Dawson Knox. He had the first touchdown last week. He's at 11-1. I actually think Buffalo's going to start out fast just because of the emotion with Hamlin being in the stadium. So I'll be loading up on some of the Bills to start fast and get up on the Bengals because they saw how the Bengals kind of punched them in the mouth a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, for sure.
All righty, so there we got a couple props, and stay tuned for at the end for our lock and dog. We may give out one of our player props as the dog, so stay tuned to that. But we're going to transition into the next game on the slate, and it's the final game of divisional round weekend. And everybody's favorite team, not the Dallas Cowboys, are headed to San Francisco. San Fran laying over under 46.5. And Cowboys obviously coming off the short week. We've heard about it. Them bitching to the media. We're not gonna be tired. Like it's not right that we had 2 less days. And I mean, I hear them on it, but at the same time, man, it's the playoffs. Strap it up, shut up, and play. I mean, this is typical Dallas stuff where you're planning the excuse before the game happens. So, but yeah, enough of my Cowboys banter. San Fran obviously coming off the explosive second half. Is this the game where Brock Purdy looks like a rookie though against that defensive front for Dallas?
Yeah, I keep waiting for him to look like a rookie, and he hasn't yet. But I do think this Dallas defense is going to challenge him. They are very good, obviously. But I just think this is such a well-coached 49ers team. We've said it before that it doesn't matter who's quarterbacking them, whether it's a rookie, whether that's a veteran. And there's always the chance that if Brock Purdy is not looking good in that first half and struggling, that they could make a change. But I don't expect him to struggle. He's used to big games at Iowa State, competing in the Big 12, played against some very good competitors. I think the 49ers control this game with their run. with Christian McCaffrey, Elijah Mitchell, even getting Debo involved, and really just kind of control the whole tempo of the game. I like the Niners to win this. I like them to cover the 4. I will be happy when I don't have to go to work and the Cowboys fans say, "Hey, I got to say it. How about them Cowboys?" So I'm going
Amen
for
to
the Niners
that.
here.
So my favorite bet of the weekend is the under in this game because I think both teams are going to struggle to pass the ball because of each front. Like you got Joey Bosa in that unit on the other side, and then you got Micah Parsons in that unit on the other side. I think this is a old school, low scoring, just hitting each other in the mouth, physical brand of football, which I'm really looking forward to watching. I hate to say it, I kind of like the Cowboys with the points in terms of I just think it's going to be a low scoring, and I could see Shanahan being a little more conservative and leaning more on that rushing attack with Christian McCaffrey, Debo Samuel, Elijah Mitchell, using all that, kind of just taking the pressure off him. And then Dallas, it's going to be interesting to see how they treat the running back position in this game because we all agree Tony Pollard is the better running back against compared to Zeke.
Yeah.
So is this a game where yes, Zeke is making more money, Jerry, but Tony Pollard needs 20 plus touches in this game because they're going to have trouble blocking that San Francisco front because they're dominant to say the least. I mean they they ate Geno Smith alive in that second half. So I'm going to take like a kind of like that Green Bay game last year when San Fran went up there and won. I know that was one of your favorite games of the year when San Fran pulled the upset. I think it's something like that, like a 13-10 or 17-14, just slugfest.
Yeah, 100% agree. I'm also on the under here. 46.5 is just too many points. I know these teams can put up points, but I think with the matchups and the defenses that they will not put up the points this weekend.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. It's the other thing that is in the back of my mind is I looked at San Fran and who they've played. They've played everybody other than Seattle with a losing point differential, which is crazy to me. I didn't realize that, or that Brock Purdy's played. You really dive into who they've beaten with Brock Purdy. Their schedule's actually kind of been kind of soft, to be honest. I didn't realize that till really diving in. I mean, pulling up the Niners schedule right now during that time period, he obviously beat Seattle twice. They beat Tampa Bay, who's not a good football team. They beat my Skins, who were up and down with Heineke in the last game. Snuck by Vegas, and they beat up on the Cardinals back to back. So I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting because correct me if I'm wrong, Garoppolo got injured in the Dolphins game, right?
I think that's right.
Yeah, because then Purdy started against Brady to start. Yeah, so they've kind of had a cupcake schedule here down the stretch, and I mean their division's not very good, so that's that. And Shark Quinn likes the Cowboys money line. God, I hope you're wrong.
You could be seeing 2 of your division foes in
That's a worst
the
case
NFC
scenario.
Championship.
That's the worst case scenario because you know what that means? They clinch the Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah. Yep. For sure.
Yeah. Player prop wise, where are you looking here?
I like Christian McCaffrey longest run over 15.5. That's minus 105. I just like him to break, at least 120-yard run. And then I got Brock Purdy over 7.5 rushing yards. I know he's not necessarily known for rushing ability, but I think that Dallas defense is going to pressure him if he's dropping back, and he's going to have to get away from the pressure. How about you?
Looking at, I kind of touch on it with the running back situation in Dallas. Tony Pollard over 78.5 rushing and receiving yards.
Yeah.
And
like
for Zeke, under 42.5.
Yeah.
In other words, put Zeke on the bench. He can be the goal line back this game. So, I like McCaffrey as well because I think this Cowboys run defense can be had as well. So looking at what McCaffrey is on the ground attack, his rushing yards is sitting at currently 66.5. I definitely like the over in that because I think this is a run heavy game both ways.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely agree. What you got a first touchdown?
I'm looking at the touchdown market right now. We're seeing McCaffrey's minus 160 for anytime TD. That's not juicy enough. I'll go Zeke.
Zeke. All right.
I'll go because if they're not going to play him a lot, they're going to put him in at the goal line. Plus 150 just for a anytime TD. His first time TD is sitting at, where is Zeke Elliott? Zeke Elliott is sitting at plus 950. So I'll give out Zeke for the first touchdown.
All right. I have George Kittle plus 900, so 9-1. He gets involved in that red zone and has had a good amount of touchdowns this year compared to his normal production. He's not a guy that normally scores a lot of touchdowns like you would think with how talked about George Kittle is. So I definitely like him with the first touchdown there. Niners get on the board first. Sharkwin's got an interesting question here. Any thoughts on McCaffrey most rushing yards this weekend? That is interesting.
You know who I like?
Who's that?
I like Saquon.
Saquon?
I think the Giants are going to have to run the ball to keep that Eagles offense off the field, and they only gave him 9 carries last week. I think Daboll knew what he was doing, save him a little bit for. I think this is like a 25 to 30 carry game for Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
I would say it comes down between him and Christian McCaffrey. I think the Eagles are going to have success running, but they use Sanders, Hurts, Scott, Gainwell. They use so many. The Chiefs aren't. I mean, they don't have a strong rushing attack. It's okay. ETN, I think they're going to have to pass the ball too much for ETN to get enough. Joe Mixon and P. Ryan have been splitting more and more. And then Buffalo, Singletary, and James Cook, they don't get a ton of running. So no, I kind of like that. Either Saquon or Christian McCaffrey, either one.
Yep, I like that. It's and the volume's going to be there with the carries. Both teams need these guys to run the football. And my AirPods were acting up. Who did you give out for the first touchdown? You said George Kittle.
Yep, George Kittle 9-1.
I like that one too. I'll do Zeke and Kittle, one on each side.
There you go.
So,
Saquon's plus 500, so you could do both McCaffrey and Saquon and make money.
Yeah, I agree. I think it comes down to one of those two guys. So,
watch it beat Jalen Hurts.
That would be bad news for the New York Football Giants if Jalen Hurts has over 100 yards, because I can tell you right now, it'll be your last game, Kramer, if that happens.
Yeah.
So,
yep. Or Dan Jones. Dan Jones ran for a lot of yards last week.
Dan Jones is like a freaking beast all of a sudden, and it's making me sick.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know what? I got to give Kramer credit. Like, he's been a Dan Jones guy. Dan Jones is better than the bottom half of the league in quarterbacks.
Yeah.
He is more than serviceable. He's slowly turning into what Alex Smith was at the tail end, just game managing. He underrated speed. Just gets the ball. He also doesn't have any weapons.
Right. Yeah. Their receiving room has been a revolving door.
Yeah.
So yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I like for the Giants. I know that we're talking playoffs, but like off season wise, I wouldn't be they should not be one of the more desperate teams to go get a quarterback, because I think Dan Jones actually is more than serviceable.
Yeah, agreed.
So we're on opposite sides of both games. It's good. A little diversity. But we both and that'll get us into our lock and dog. We've given out some player props. Where do you want to go for your lock of the weekend?
I'm hoping that I can make it happen by locking it. I'm locking the 49ers in to cover the spread and send the Cowboys home packing so I don't have to hear about it.
I like that angle. I'm all for it. For my lock, I'm going to go to that same game. I'm going to give out the under. I'm going to lock up the under in San Fran, Dallas, under 46.5. Like I said, I think this game easily. And I mean, if you want to get in on the first half under as well, I'm looking at it right now. The first half under is sitting at 23.5. I'm seeing. I'll take that under as well. If you want to even get fancier, 9.5 for the first quarter. So,
yeah, I like that first half one and the game under too. First quarters always scare me because the first drive is yep.
Yeah, no, we definitely agree on that, especially in that Buffalo Cincinnati game that we were talking about, where they could just come out, trade blow for blow, and then the game kind of just settles in. Defense catches their breath a little bit, and so feel each other out. But yeah, no, definitely, we both like the under. Not like we love the under in that Dallas San Francisco game. For your dog, what's your favorite dog of the weekend? Like Cincinnati?
I don't like them to win outright. I like them with the points. I'm going to stick in the same 49ers game and give out a player prop for my dog, Elijah Mitchell, anytime touchdown, plus 310. I think they spell McCaffrey enough that Mitchell gets a good amount of carries, especially when they want to control this clock. And he's kind of that hard grinding type runner anyways. So I like him to get in the end zone at least once on Sunday. So, and that's again, plus 310. So a little over 3-1.
I like that. I'm going to give out Dallas. I hate it, but I'm going to give them out in the first half money line.
Okay. All
money
right.
line first half, Dallas plus 150.
I mean,
so they could be up, and then they could blow the game in the fourth quarter. So basically, a dream scenario for me, where somehow Dallas has the lead at half, I win my bet, and they freaking lose. So yeah.
I mean,
promo
the 49ers,
code Dallas sucks.
That's right. The 49ers were losing to Seattle at half. So
yeah,
and then they just completely blew them out. So that's obviously very feasible to happen.
Yeah, and what is I'll also look at a tie at half as well.
Oh, yeah.
Money line. I'm not seeing this. I'll get back to me. I'll put that one on Twitter because I could see maybe pairing tie where we go to overtime in this one, where we're tied at the end of the fourth, tied at halftime. Get a real juicy little parlay there.
Yeah, a 10-10 by the end of the game, Colby type of football game.
Oh, yes, I'm all for it. And then, another dog option, if you want to do this would be a parlay together. It would be San Francisco money line, and the under would go for plus 190, those two paired together.
Nice. I like that.
So I may give that one out. That way I don't have to root for Dallas at all. But, hey, two dogs there.
There you go.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I got, this isn't a dog, but I talked about my monster parlay that I did last weekend. If your book offers what's called a monster parlay, it gives you a 13-point swing. You can only pick 4 games. There's only 4 games this weekend. So I did that again this week. I got Jaguars plus 21.5.
There you go.
Yeah. Giants plus 20.5. Bengals plus 18.5 and Niners plus 9. That's at minus 140. So you're still paying some juiced odds, but it feels like a really safe bet.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. There's going to be one, like in the divisional round, there's always one or two divisional round upsets. Last year, it was Cincinnati going to Tennessee, picking them off. It was San Fran in the night game going to Green Bay and getting them. So the 2 1 seeds were eliminated on Saturday. There's going to be at least one upset that we're not seeing. I think it's one of the 2 Saturday games.
It's Jacksonville for sure.
That would be great.
I would love to see it.
I hope they win it all. I just all those trends about the Giants undefeated against 1 seed since 1990. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in the divisional round, right? That was the stat. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in the divisional round, not the wild card round, correct? Because I know you and Kramer were going back and forth. So
yeah.
I know that we only have 2 games, but expanding into the other couple games, if you had to give out a tease for the weekend, what do you think?
I'm gonna tease the Jaguars up. So I think are they plus 9 right now? So that'd make them plus 15.
Yeah, that way you can avoid 2 touchdowns. I like that.
Yeah. I'm going to take Cincinnati to plus 12 because I think that's going to be a close game either way. And then I still like San Francisco even at plus 2, but I'll keep extending points. So I'll go Giants plus 13.5. So that way I'm taking no blowouts basically.
I like your angle. I'm going to take the 3 dogs that I like. Buffalo's only favorite I like with the points. So I'm with you. Jacksonville to 15, the Giants up to 13.5. I wish I could get to 14, but still, they're going to fight. It's going to be a ball game. And then Dallas to plus 10. I don't see them getting blown out either. So that would be my tease. You got a total tease too? I mean, there's only so many. There's only so many options with the limited slate.
Now you're really picking my brain here.
I know.
Let's go Chiefs, Jags over. Let's see. Trying to do math here. That'd be over 47. Dallas, San Francisco under. I'll tease it up. So under 52.5. And then let's do Giants, Eagles under 52. I think that's going to be a close and kind of a lower scoring game.
Yeah, I like that as well. I think divisional round 3, they know each other so well. If I had to give one out, I'm on team unders again. I know I got blitzed last week, 1-5, but it's going to even out this week. These teams know each other, and all the games are rematches except for Dallas and San Fran. But that's a rematch of the playoffs last year, so all these teams know each other so well. The one that probably doesn't know each other the best is Jacksonville, Kansas City. But you look at the coaching angle, you have Andy Reid against Doug Peterson. So it's like they know each other just from that, and they played earlier in the year as well. So if I teased up three totals to get the unders, I would definitely, obviously, Dallas and San Francisco, 52.5, get that up there.
Yep.
New York and Philly, divisional round 3, they know each other. So I tease that up from 48 to 54. And my last one probably would be Cincinnati and Buffalo from 49 to 55.
Yeah.
Cold weather game. I mean, I don't mind the under in Kansas City, Jacksonville as well, but I also could see, I mean, Lawrence and those guys, they play in these hectic games, and then Mahomes, you never know when Mahomes is just going to go nuclear. I mean, it could happen at any moment. So I'll stay away from that one with my tees.
Yeah, that's the one I feel most confident about hitting the over. None of the others, I'm not crazy about the overs, but I kind of like Bengals, Bills over, but the one I'm most confident about is the Chiefs, Jags. I think that's going to be more of a shootout than people expect.
Yeah. And you know what? We may see these 4 teams in the AFC for the foreseeable future because I mean, you could throw Herbert in there as well, but these are the 4 best young quarterbacks. And then Herbert. But Herbert's not going to get there because he has incompetent coaching. So compared to Jacksonville, who gets Doug Peterson and is immediately a Final 4 team in the AFC. Amazing what he does, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Well, that'll do it for us, man. Before we get up on out of here, you got anything, J Mark?
No, I'm ready for another fun weekend of football. We're getting so close to the Super Bowl. This year just flew. The season just flew.
It has, and it's like I said, it's been a fun first year. Stay tuned to what the schedule will be next week. Obviously, we only have 2 games to preview, so Moonoff will let everybody know what ins and ands and buts of what we're going to be doing. So stay tuned. Follow us on Twitter for our Lock Dog and Tease graphic for the weekend. You can find J Mark on Twitter at JMarkFootball. Go check out the XFL Gambling Podcast because that season is right around the corner. We're a month out. And you guys can find me at Moneyline_Mac and over at the College Basketball Experience. We are in the middle of conference play. Colby's on that show as well. So if you just want to watch Colby, you'll see J Mark and I on all these shows.
Absolutely. We both get to work with the craziness of Colby.
Indeed. Yes, it's more than fun. And go check out all the other platforms as well. NBA's getting going, or it's been going. It's in the middle of the season. College baseball was right around the corner, so go check out College Baseball Experience, College Football Experience. I mean, the portal never stops, so go check out what they're doing. A lot of good things happening in the SGPN family. Thank you, Sharquin. Great show. Appreciate it, as always, for tuning in live. Have a great weekend, everybody, and don't forget to let it ride.